Alright, so this is a review of the Curt roof rack. This comes in various brand names, or at least they think they do. There's a lot out there that actually look the same, but this one is the Curt brand, and I went ahead and got the extension for it, which is the middle section there. I was going to do two extensions, but it would have hung out a little too far over the top of the roof here, so I just opted for the one. So I've had it for about a year and a half now, and overall I'd say I'm pleased for what I paid for it. It was under $200. I had a pretty good discount. I think it was like 30% off, but less than $200 delivered to my door. And it is probably the cheapest of the roof racks you can get out there. It is all hollow tube, and so it's not extremely sturdy, but it's sturdy enough for what I use it for. And instead of going with just two rails that go across the roof, I went with four. I took two off of another XJ just in case any weight caused it to bow here, and that way this would at least stop it somewhat in the middle. But I haven't had that issue. I've traveled a couple of times with stuff on top for a total of maybe about 150 to 200 pounds. And never had an issue. I've even walked around up there and none of the tubes have bent on me. The only issue that I have had is because of the way it mounts to my Cherokee, the top bracket doesn't snug down tight enough to hold it to the rail, and that's just because of the spacing. So my hand tightened nuts, which is this here, bottom out, and I thought they were snug enough, but on one of my trips the thing did move to the side, so I had to straighten it out and retighten it. But for that reason, what I'm going to do, I've got the angle grinder up there. I am going to cut off the length of the screw so that it's not going above the top of the mount there, and that way when I throw bags up there and stuff, it won't snag on it and rip it. And then I'm also adding washers, as you can see there, so that I have some spacing before I bottom out. And then another thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to put on wing nuts rather than the hand tightened nuts that they give you, because it seems to not snug down real tight, even regardless of the bottoming out, and they seem to strip fairly easy. So I'm going to go with the wing nuts. Should make it a little bit more secure. But overall, it's worked out pretty well. One thing that I did do, because I was reading a lot of negative reviews about rust dripping out, or water with rust dripping out, because apparently it would get inside and then drip out through some of the openings. So what I did is I took Herculiner and just painted the inside of where all the crossbars mount to the top bar and filled in any open gaps. And I did that to all of them. It was a bit time consuming, but well worth it. Another thing that I also did is where the sections meet up, I went ahead and put Herculiner all around that and filled in any gaps, and then covered that with silicone. The silicone seems to be coming off a little bit, but it is all filled in with Herculiner. And then in another section, I believe somewhere down below here, I don't know if you can see that or not, there was a crossbar that also needed to be filled in. And after I did that, I have not had a single drop of water, rust water, or anything, so it seems to be working really well. The plastic clips that they give you to hold on the air deflector have not broken, and they didn't strip when I tightened the bolts down through them. I mounted my high lift jack up top and just did that with some U-bolts under one of the crossbars there, and another one under there up through the high lift, and that's worked out for me. But overall, for the price that I paid, it's a decent rack. It's not bent or anything like that on me. There's a few areas where I did scratch it up, and I wouldn't say the paint comes off real easy, but it's not all that durable. Repainting the whole thing in Herculiner would probably be a pretty good idea if you really cared about that. Otherwise, I've just either let it go or just touched it up with some black paint or POR 15 or something like that. So anyway, if you have any comments or questions, please leave them below, and please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.